David. David.
Yes.
Turn around. I have a question.
What are you doing?
I'm making a vlog.
Yes.
What's up everyone? If you're a student, if you are still in high school or at university, or if you are a parent, then this video is for you, so please listen up. If you knew what you know right now, would you still have gone to study straight after you matriculated?
No. Why?
So if you wouldn't have gone to study, knowing what you knew right now, what would you have done if you didn't go and study straight after high school?
Okay. I think at that age, well, I know at that age I didn't know what I wanted to do. So, since grade 10, I wanted to be an au pair. But when matric came, everyone was going to university or college, and I really didn't know what I wanted to, like literally I didn't know what I wanted to do. Or should I say, I didn't see myself, I didn't see myself somewhere.
You got caught up with other people's acceptance to different universities?
No, I had the opportunity to go to university. I got accepted, and then I just studied. I completed the degree, but I don't feel that it interested me that much. It wasn't in my interest. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so next question. So after just one more question. So after 4 years of study, it more or less costed you 100,000. You take into consideration the money on food, accommodation, traveling expenses, tuition fees, and then there's the entertainment, everything that you need to have in order to be sane, clothing, whatever. So if your parents decided to give you the 100,000 up front, what would you have done with the money? Seeing that some people go to university, they drop out after their first year, or in their second year they come to the conclusion that this is not for them, and then they change their majors completely.
Yes, you change your major in the second year, third year.
And all that money have gone to waste.
Yes.
So what would you have done with that 100,000, knowing what you knew right now?
Not everyone is gonna like this answer, but I would have taken gap year. And gap year meaning, What? Okay. I would have taken a gap year. With gap year meaning trying to find yourself, trying to find your interest, if possible, or if you have the opportunity, you want water. if you have the opportunity to go overseas to do some work that doesn't require you to have a qualification.
Like?
And I want to say, okay?
So you wanted to work with other people's naughty children in overseas countries?
I'm doing it right now. So yeah, you can do that. You can be a waitress. For the men, you can do truck driving.
without needing a qualification. There's a lot of things. You can become a vlogger.
Yes, but I need earning money. Like now, I can still pay my bills and pay the money.
You can go on a cruise ship.
Yes, you can do that. But I think you need
Some sort of something.
certificate or something, you know, to kind of so find something that you can do without having a qualification, and if you have the opportunity, you can go overseas, make some money.
And then would you
Try and do research or find what interests you.
and then would you eventually have gone back to university?
It depends. If you find that you wanted to be, or if you find that you want to be, you want to be in an occupation where a qualification is needed, then obviously you need to go to university, right? Or college, or get a certificate, or do whatever.
Okay,
So-
my last question.
Hey,
Sorry for interrupting.
okay. Oh, okay, that's fine. Yes.
My last question. So, what do you think about China? Teaching in China?
In Afrikaans, Sela. Je moet haren op je tanden eten. Hey, if I'm not feeding them, I'm teaching them manners. It's not just teaching them English. You gotta have balls. They're always hungry. Thank you. What? You say? Bye. Okay, are you gonna watch the video now?
No.
Let's start a vlog. US.
Okay, so there's this age-old debate of, is it still relevant to go to a university? Should you get a degree or should you not get a degree? Should you move abroad, maybe work on a ship, do a side hustle, learn about sales? Or should you go straight after school to university? So this is what I will be addressing in this video, so stay tuned. When I was in university, I learned in a second year industrial psychology class that life is changing so fast, and at the moment the world is moving so fast that by the time that you start a 4-year degree at university, by the end of the 4 years that you embark at university, the world has moved on so much that your degree might end up irrelevant. Okay, so the first thing that you need to know is life isn't fair. So that being said, if you are the most educated person in the room, it doesn't necessarily mean that you are making the most money in the room or that you should be making the most money in the room, because education doesn't guarantee success in life. It's just a qualification. It's just a qualifier in order to get a high income job, but qualification doesn't guarantee success. It's only a way of qualifying yourself. So the first thing that I want to touch on is, so the decision after high school, should you go and study straight after high school, or should you first go to the army, the navy? Should you travel overseas to make some money, get some life experience, to find out what your interests are before you go and invest all of the money in a career, only to find out later in life that you have a different path? It's one of the opportunity cost and one of the decisions that you have to take into consideration before you make a decision and go and spend money. Not everyone that goes to a university ends up graduating, and dropout rate for certain degrees or degrees are very high. I have a question, and the first question is, have you ever sat down before making the final decision of pursuing a career, an academic career, how much money you are going to spend? Meaning from the first year until the 4th year, also taking into consideration that you might not pass all of the modules the first time or at the first attempt. If you considered how much money you are going to spend, meaning A, your accommodation and your residence fees, to B, your tuition fees, how much the course or the degree is going to cost you. And number 3, your traveling expenses. 4, how much money you're going to spend on food. And the last one, you need some entertainment, because degrees or education, studying, it takes its toll on the psyche, and you need some place or somewhere to let out. So you need some money for entertainment. So the question is, just a raw estimate, is it gonna be 200,000, 300,000? Is it gonna be 150,000? I don't know, you make your numbers. I want this video to be relevant for the next 10 years, so the tuition fees are going to change. Also, the other side of the equation is, you as a parent, if you thought about, maybe my son or my daughter isn't that smart, maybe I'm putting too much pressure on them to go to university. Maybe if I'm gonna spend 150,000, why don't I invest it in my son or my daughter to start their own business? Some people are good at blow drying hair, or I can buy a camera for my son and they can start a photography business, or my son or daughter can start buying and selling some second-hand goods or stuff, or start their own business. So if you've made it thus far in the video, congratulations. I'm gonna give you the tea right now. So please do me a favor by supporting me and my wife. Click the subscribe button below, and please share the video to your classmates, to the parents, to your friends. Share this as far and as wide as possible. So the first recommendation that I would recommend is to become an avid reader. Since you are taking a gap year, or you're making a decision not to go and study immediately after high school or matriculating. Okay, why I'm saying this, I worked in the bank, and before I worked in the bank, I used to be an outsider looking at the people. Wow, the doors are closing at 3:30, and this job must be so shana na na na. Until I became a freaking banker, and I realized how much is actually happening behind the scenes and in the back of the bank. Money getting counted, and safes being opened, and money being signed off in all the cash counts, and how much freaking cameras there are. You being watched all of the freaking time. So in my career as a banker, in my short span of a career as a banker, I picked up the following. People came to me on a daily basis coming to request for loans, and I looked for two things always. How much time the people have when they walk into my office, how often they check their watch, meaning how rushed are their lives. I looked at their facial expressions to see if they are happy, at the family people, meaning people with a family. And it is actually a surprise at what kind of people are really the happiest people that walk into the bank and who really needs money. I've got a surprising fact before I get into this. Usually the month after a bonus month is the time of the month where people come for a loan, because they've become accustomed to the loan money. But anyway, if you are in the following careers or considering the following careers: banking, post office, a dentist, a key maker, a shoemaker, then I've got bad news for you. Or maybe a porn star. So for those of the people who are considering porn up, listen up. If you're considering becoming a banker, then please be aware that the bank is currently looking at automation, and they are downsizing all of the time. So this is an industry that is trying to use automatic teller machines. Right now in China we have a system of WeChat, I don't carry a bank account. I carry a phone, and I use WeChat to pay everything. I can't even remember the last time I used my phone. One of the most depressing jobs is a dentist. You are welcome to do some more due diligence on your own by going on the internet and doing some research. And here is the industries that's quite productive. So people who work with their hands, boilermakers, fitters and turners, mechanical engineering or mechanical backgrounds, plumbing. Surprisingly, plumbing is one of the highest freaking jobs. You'd be surprised. When people think of plumbers, they think of dirty toilets and stinking bathrooms. That's not always the case. If you look at China, when they are building new skyscrapers, year over year, people are building 16 skyscrapers at the same time. Just think of all the piping that needs to be laid in all of those buildings. And I assume there's 1 or 2 or 3 guys who's master plumbers, according to me, the experts, who knows the plans and the measurements and the pressures the pipes needs to handle. They know those kinds of information, and then you get the general workers who does the actual job. So plumbers make a load of money. Architects in solar, eco-friendly environments in houses. Teaching. Surprisingly, teaching actually pays. China is a very big country. You have Taiwan, you have South Korea, you have New Zealand. Teachers are actually a very scarce job, and right now with all of the regulations and quality control in countries like China and the Asian countries, the salary has just been increasing year upon year. Graphic designers, people in marketing, professional photographers, videographers, entrepreneurs. The courier business is going to boom in the near future, maybe even through people that can pilot drones, but right now this is a booming industry. If you consider we have Taobao, online shopping, Amazon. I don't want to mention brands who's not giving me money, but there are plenty of them. Transportation, this is a job that's never going to go out of fashion because automation, autonomous cars, autonomous trucks is still in its infancy, and in terms of regulation, this is an industry that's not going to be automated very soon. I'm talking about truck drivers. Chartered accountants, you will always need a chartered accountant to estimate values, do the numbers, because the government is regulating companies very strictly. For me that have a private company, for those entrepreneurs that have big companies, they need an accountant to charter their books or do their books. Production managers for farming. I used to think that farming used to be such a dirty job where you would get full of mud. I'm a rugby player, don't get me wrong. I first started off as a backline player, and then I ended up being a loose forward, and then I moved to the position of lock. In my last year of club rugby, I also played in the front row, just one game. So I like getting dirty. But I used to think that being a farmer, you work with the lowest echelons of society, uneducated, unschooled people, and surprisingly, these people came to me into the bank and they used to get the freaking money. They were happy people. They got a house from the farm. They had access to the farmers' vehicles, meaning the owner of the farm's vehicles or the company. These people had free food that they received, or chickens. The farms always have vegetables or fruit or things that they can get, and then they have bonuses and perks if the season ended up being good. that's a very high earning job considering I don't know farming, the education wise, so I'm rather not gonna comment. A personal trainer, these guys are earning a fortune in China. I'm talking about 80,000 a year for a personal trainer, just for one client. For me, for a personal trainer, I must pay 80,000 a year. Yes, these guys, they are earning. I don't know about South Africa, but I'm on the research and showing personal trainers. Air hostess, but this is a tough job. Just consider that once you start in the airline industry, you have to maintain your weight. They have very strict weight regulations and stipulations, and before each flight they have an assessment. Maybe one question will be asked, and if you are deemed unfit, you cannot board on the plane. Sales, surprisingly, sales is still very high on the list. There's a skill towards closing. Glenn, always be closing. ABC, Casey Neistat's favorite movie. So a salesperson, I worked in this cutthroat industry. When I used to work in F&B, we had a fixed salary. I started off with a very low fixed salary, and then F&B came with a new payment system called the OBR system, and I was like eager beaver. The base salary was even lower than the salary I was earning at the time, and at that point in time, my go-to motivational speaker was Les Brown and Tony Robbins. And I listened to all these sales seminars, and the people that I worked with would be able to tell you it was like this. And then after work, I started doing, I would call it, like in politics you would call it, door to door. I started getting this habit of going to see 2 customers after work, trying to persuade business owners to bring their business to F&B, and I actually did fairly well. You can ask the branch manager. So I opened up a lot of business accounts for F&B, and then I got rewarded. My salary almost doubled from what I used to take home and what I ended up before I left the company. So the commission that I got in sales was really worth it. And what I learned in the bank also was, besides selling, when you can sell, the opener asking open-ended questions, and then you let the fish run what the customer wants, and then you find out some loopholes, and then you close the sale. Once you can sell anything. So I was told that don't work hard, work smart. So I was good at selling one product at a time, and then my brother's brother-in-law, called Cameron, taught me a lesson when I was young. He's way younger than I am. I was good at persuading people one-on-one, and this guy taught me how to do bulk selling. So now I'm at the point where I do 2 things. One I learned in the bank: work hard. Don't work hard, work smart. But you can do both. Get a bigger product that's more expensive, more high-end. That's why right now I'm doing second-hand cars with my representative, which I will reveal later. So the product is more expensive, so the profit is much higher, so I have to work less. The second one is bulk. Try to sell more than one product at a time. Then you are gonna make big time money. Beauticians are making big time money in China with doing the nails, eyebrows, the whole jazz. The ladies will know. Hair, this is something that will never stop. Even for me in China, I'm never satisfied with my hair. And engineers, lastly, but this is an industry that you're gonna have to mathematically be up here, because you actually need mathematics, which requires calculus and calculations until it comes out of your ears. So that's not for everyone. You need to be very hardworking. So the last part, parents, if you are a young parent, this one is for you. So there's a guy that I follow on YouTube called David Patrick. His channel's name is Valuetainment, and David reveals in one video that the 1% of the world have one thing in common. I'll give you an opportunity to guess. All of them have one thing in common: a military background. That's what I said in the beginning. After school, you want to go to the army, you want to travel abroad in order to gain some experience, to find out what you want to know about yourself, what your interests are. You want to have a look like me before I started working in the bank. Before you join an industry, you will first want to see what the people who are in their 40s and their 50s, what their facial expressions look like, if they are happy. So the 1% have a military background. And the top 1% of the 1% in the world have two things in common. Of the highest income earners in the world: a martial arts background and a military background. Thank you for watching. I've got a martial arts background. Army, I'll tell you one day why I didn't make it to the army, but I passed all the tests and then I ended up not going to the Navy. Thank you for watching. Please like, please comment, please subscribe. I love you guys. Thank you for watching.